What happens after death? This question has followed humanity like a shadow since the beginning of time. Every culture, every religion, every philosophy has tried to answer it. Some speak of heaven and hell. Some speak of eternal judgment. And some say there is nothing at all. But today, we explore a perspective that is deeply different. Quiet, observant, and surprisingly practical. This is Buddha's view on death and rebirth, not as a belief to blindly accept, but as a process to deeply understand. One important thing to understand first: the Buddha never started his teaching with death. He started with suffering, old age, illness, loss, fear, attachment. Death in Buddhism is not a mystery standing alone. It is simply one moment in a much larger flow of cause and effect. The Buddha asked a different question. Why do we suffer again and again? Why does dissatisfaction keep returning? To answer this, he explained rebirth, not as a soul traveling, but as a process continuing. This is where many people get confused. The Buddha clearly rejected the idea of a permanent, unchanging soul. So the question naturally arises: if there is no soul, then what is reborn? His answer is subtle but powerful. He explained that what continues is not a person, but a process. Think of it like this: a candle lights another candle. Is the flame the same? No. Is it completely different? Also no. There is continuity without identity. What continues after death is not you as a personality, but the momentum of your actions, intentions, and mental habits. This momentum is called karma, simply meaning action and consequence. According to Buddha's teaching, death is not an instant jump. It is a transition. At the moment of death, the body stops functioning, the senses fade, the mind releases its final grasp. But the most important thing is this: the last dominant mental state matters deeply. Fear, attachment, anger, peace, clarity. These states don't disappear. They shape what comes next. Just like a seed determines the kind of tree that grows, the final mental momentum influences the next form of existence, not as punishment, not as reward, but as natural law. Another key point Buddha taught: rebirth does not always mean coming back as a human. Existence unfolds across different states of experience, some joyful, some painful, some neutral. These are often described symbolically as different realms. But Buddha emphasized that they are states of consciousness, not places ruled by a god. A mind dominated by greed, hatred, and confusion naturally flows towards suffering. A mind cultivated with compassion, awareness, and wisdom moves toward clarity. No external judge. No divine courtroom. Only cause and effect. So many people ask, if rebirth is real, why don't we remember our past lives? Buddha's answer was simple. Memory depends on conditions. Even in this life, we don't remember our early childhood clearly, yet we know it happened. In the same way, rebirth does not guarantee memory, only continuity of tendencies. Your fears, your instincts, your emotional patterns. These may arise without memory, but not without cause. Here is the most misunderstood part. Buddhism is not about achieving a better rebirth. It is about ending the cycle altogether. The Buddha saw rebirth not as a gift, but as part of suffering itself. Because as long as rebirth continues, aging continues, loss continues, death continues, the ultimate goal is liberation from this cycle, called Nirvana, not a place, but a state beyond craving and fear. Freedom from the need to become anything at all. From Buddha's view, death is not an end. It is not a beginning. It is a continuation of momentum, like a river, changing shape but not stopping. What determines the flow is not belief, but how you live right now. Your awareness, your compassion, your attachments, your understanding. Buddha did not ask us to fear death. He asked us to understand life. Because when life is lived with awareness, death loses its terror. The present moment gains meaning. And liberation becomes possible. Not someday, not after death, but here and now. Imagine living in such a way that nothing needs to be carried forward. Nothing needs to be repeated. Nothing needs to be escaped. This is the freedom Buddha pointed toward. Not blind belief, not blind hope, but deep understanding. If this reflection brought clarity to your mind, take a moment to sit quietly after this video. Because the Buddha said, the truth is not found in words, but in awareness. If you seek calm, clarity, and deeper understanding of life, this is the inner light. Subscribe for more reflections on wisdom, consciousness, and the path within.